Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the Mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and yes, this is show number three as we go to what's bothering us. I'm joined as always by Jose Carlos Gomes, Gil Santos, and our special guest, Tony Barbosa, has joined us as well today. Although I find it hard to believe anything's bothering him after what his Colts did to the Raiders and his ex-coach there, who turned down his team, McDaniels. But we'll get to that later. Jose looks very angry. So we're gonna ask Jose what's bothering him because he's got a lot on his mind, and God, so do I. So let's start with Jose, and we'll respond to what's bothering him.
What's bothering me is all this fucking Cristiano Ronaldo fiasco that's happening because of this interview that he gave to this guy from England. Okay, first of all, I at first I was like thinking about what he was saying and not realizing what was really what he really meant by saying what he did. Now I totally agree with him. Listen, when you play for a club like Manchester United, when you play for a club, don't fucking shake your head because listen, when you play for a club like Manchester United, after all the shit that happened with his daughter and stuff like that, and then
Okay,
his
okay, okay.
and the kid, listen, just shut up and
I
listen.
agree. No, I agree with that. Yeah. Okay.
With all that
Yeah.
shit that happened with his kid, with his the death of his son, and then in the preseason, he didn't go to the preseason because he had to bring his daughter to the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's why he didn't have preseason and didn't go to the preseason.
Yes. Yes.
And then you go you go to your upper management, your the Glazers, the owner, whatever, the football,
Right.
the
Right.
that runs the teams,
The
the
Glazers. Yeah.
manager
Yeah.
doesn't even come up to you and even mention one thing to you or say like I'm sorry or this and that. Like that's
Okay.
sad. That's
Okay.
sad, and that just goes for Ronaldo. That goes for any single player in the world.
Anybody.
When you
Anybody.
have a player like that in the club, doesn't even a rival club like Liverpool shows you more respect by clapping for you when you're playing against a Liverpool team, and then your own club, then that's bad. And then when he was talking shit about what about the gym, the stuff like that, he's not taking shots at Manchester United. He's taking shots at the Glazers. Okay, he's taking
Yes.
shots
100%.
because nobody else has the balls to say anything to them, and he's got the balls to say it first of more than
Every,
anybody else, saying
everybody's been
that
talking about how bad Manchester United has been for years. It's not just him.
exactly. And it's
Ever
been
since they
Mourinho
took
said
over.
that. Mourinho
Correct.
Ever
said
since
it.
they took over.
Pogba's been
Yeah.
saying it,
It hasn't been
but
just Ronaldo.
they didn't come out publicly like Ronaldo did.
Right.
So
Right.
that's why he's
Right.
taking all this heat
Yeah.
because of all, what he's saying. Is he
Yeah.
saying anything wrong? Absolutely not. When you have the same gym since you was there, like fucking 10 years ago, whatever, how long you was away from the
More
club,
than that, but
Okay, but he
and
knew
you
that when
still
he
have the same
okay,
gym,
Jose,
the
he knew that
same.
when he signed, Jose. He knew that when he signed. Why is he saying it now? He's saying it now because they're not playing him. Because
It's
when
not
he
because he's not playing. Has
last
nothing
year,
to do with playing.
last year he
This is
didn't
this,
say a thing about the gyms. He didn't say
this
anything about this last year. This is about him not playing. That's
no.
what this
This is not
is.
about him playing. This is
He
not
didn't say
about
a
him
thing
playing.
about the
This
facilities
is
last year.
about the team not respecting him. That's what it is.
Okay. And what do you call what he just
That's
did?
what it is. It's
He's
not about
suing the
him
team
playing.
and his teammates and throwing his team under the bus. That's respect. So
How's
so
he
it's
throwing
so
his team? How's he throwing
no,
his
he
teammates
did
out of the
throw his
bus?
teammates under the
he
bus.
threw his teammates under the bus, Jose, and the entire
He did.
organization under the bus. That's respect. That's okay. You're
What
justifying
what did
that?
what did he say about his players that
Dude,
he's
he
playing right now?
he released this 30
He
minutes
called
after they
he
won a
called out
game.
basically he
He
called
called
out
out
all the young
every player on the
players
team. He called out every
except
Yeah,
young
for
player on
and
the team,
except
saying
honestly,
for
they don't
honestly,
listen to me.
hold on,
I'm
Barbosa,
God. They don't
hold
listen
on,
to me.
hold
I'm
on,
God. They
hold
should
on,
listen to
hold on,
God. It's
listen.
hold on,
Let me
ridiculous.
ask you a
hold
question.
on, hold on, hold on.
Does
He called
Manchester
the
you have any
only three
academy
players.
any good players in their
Listen,
academy?
only three players. Only he talked about everybody else. Only three players. He said he exempted from what he said. Casimiro,
Dalo,
the Argentinian, and the
Yeah.
Le
low.
Martinez,
That's
and
Yeah.
it.
Dalo.
And
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay.
Everybody
No,
else was
what? No,
straight
he
shots.
said that those are
He
the players
said,
that he has the most confidence with and the most
and no,
companionship with on
he
the
said,
team. On
listen,
the team.
no, what he said was every player doesn't take playing for Manchester United serious. Or there's only those three players are the only ones because they don't train like him. They don't care like him. That's basically what he's saying. He's calling
Yeah.
out the team because they don't play hard like he does.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
And
the
what's
team
wrong with
plays
that?
better without him on the field. Meanwhile, the team plays better with him out
You
on the
don't do
field.
that. You don't do that,
Hey,
especially
okay.
right before the World Cup too.
I
You
agree
don't
with
do
Ten
that.
Hag. He's 100% correct about this guy. I agree with Ten Hag completely. Every single thing Ten Hag has done has been correct, and it's for the betterment of the team, for the betterment of his job and the club. He's done nothing wrong, Ten Hag, nothing at all. And
The
Ronaldo,
last time Manchester United went to a Champions League wasn't Ronaldo. Wasn't it with Ronaldo last?
no, they were there. They were there with
No,
Mourinho.
they were
Mourinho
there
brought him there when they won
after
Europa
that.
League with Mourinho. They were there, and they upset PSG in the first round. They were there.
No, I'm
They-
talking on the winning it.
Oh,
Oh
Ronaldo.
God, no! The
They
last
have-
time
they
they
have-
won was
they have-
sure.
was
When the
with
team was
Ronaldo.
stacked. When the team was stacked,
Yeah,
then
it was with
come on,
Ronaldo.
yeah.
Yeah,
When the
no,
team
when
was
the
stacked.
team was stacked and Ronaldo was the leading goal scorer in the Champions League.
No, when he was the
and
leading
he
goal
scored the
scorer, they lost to Messi. That's when
No, and the next year he was the leading goal scorer, and he missed the penalty shot at the end.
That's
Calm
right.
down. They won
That's
in a
right.
shootout. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's right. But he scored the one nothing goal. He scored the 1-0 goal, and then Drogba scored the 1-1 goal. So
To me, I don't think this tag guy is even a coach. He's like a director or
dude,
something. So,
and he was talking shit about the other
It's
coaches
not
too,
him.
which
He
is
was
true.
talking about the other coach, the interim that they
Yeah,
had
the
last year.
Ragnar, whatever the
Yeah,
hell his name, the
Ragnar.
last
He was
year's
talking
coach.
about him. Which,
Yeah, the
which
dude, that
he
guy's
wasn't
not
wrong.
even, that's not even a coach. That's a
He-
sporting director,
yeah.
and you put him
Yeah.
as a
He wasn't
coach.
wrong. He
What
wasn't wrong
Ronaldo
about
wanted
that.
is he wanted to keep Solskjaer so he could walk all over him and play every minute of every game. That's what he wanted. Okay, but the
Yeah,
team was
but not-
struggling.
It's
Period.
not so much Solskjaer either.
The team had their lowest point total in their history last year with him scoring all those goals. They didn't make Champions League. But he's still the greatest. He's still the best, and the team's better with him. The team plays better without him. It's a fact. The guy's got 1 league goal this year and 2 in Europa League. What is the manager doing wrong? Because he won't play the guy every single minute? That's the problem. I agree with Jose on the kid thing, but apparently nobody knew outside of the club. Nobody knew. So, I mean,
so you're telling me, Reese, when you weren't there at the hockey game, we played better without you that game, so we shouldn't play you no more? Is that what you're
Yeah,
trying to
that's
say?
exactly what it is.
We're
Like,
talking about like an entire season here. We're not talking about one game.
But you as a player now, so because you weren't there that one game or you didn't show up, is it fair to you that now we say, you know what, Reese, you shouldn't go on because we won 5-1 that game without you?
You're comparing me, who won the MVP for us last year. That's what you're comparing.
Whatever. Ronaldo was their MVP. I'm trying to mentalize
They
you.
didn't win.
I'm
Gil, they
trying to
didn't win.
but I'm trying to mentalize you what we're talking about here.
This is not Real
So-
Madrid Ronaldo anymore, Gil. He's not the same
That's
player.
fine. And neither are you. You're 45 now.
None of us are the
can
same player.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question? If the roles were reversed and Ronaldo was playing for PSG and Messi was playing for Man United, what would be the scenario?
The
don't
same
know.
shit.
I don't know.
The
Thank
same
you.
fucking shit.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Last year,
Thank you.
he was injured. He didn't even play most of the games for PSG in the fucking championship because
Yeah.
he was the fucking.
The
They
only
wanted to save
reason-
him for the Champions League. He did fuck alls in the Champions League, and then they ended up firing the coach, Pochettino, whatever the fuck
Yeah.
his name was.
The only difference
So,
is
like, don't fucking come with this fucking bullshit about
Neymar did the same thing. Neymar was
only-
garbage last year.
the only
This guy
difference
is
is the team.
such a good coach, and they win without Ronaldo. That he's getting pumped 6-2 by Manchester United, Manchester City in the derby, and he's getting pumped by fucking Liverpool. Well, against the
here's
shit
what-
teams, okay,
a-
of course you can win.
So here's what the coach did. After he refused to come on for like a little child, refused to come on against Everton. Okay, he refused to go onto the field. Okay, after that he suspended him for 1 game, and he talked with the guy. When he came back, he started him in the Europa League, started him against West Ham, and made him the fucking captain. And he still is sitting there saying he doesn't respect me. He doesn't respect me. He made him the captain and tried to make
So
amends
what?
with the guy, and he
So
still
what?
acted like a big suck after. The whole
So
Ronaldo's
it's because
ego
you have
is
the
everything.
captain armband makes you
Hey,
fucking.
He tried to work with
important
him,
or something?
Jose. He
Listen,
tried to work
he's
with him.
mad at him because he has no communication with the players. He never communicates with them. That's all he wanted him to do. He wanted him to communicate with him, saying what was his game plan and stuff like that. It's just the
Jose,
same thing with fucking like Rodgers
why
and
did
shit like that
Ronaldo
when
leave
that thing
Juventus?
happened with the GM.
Why did Ronaldo leave Juventus?
Why did he leave Juventus?
Why did he leave
Because
Juventus?
they were
Because
going
Juventus didn't have
in a
money to
different
pay
way.
him.
No.
Juventus didn't have money to pay him.
What happened? You guys know what happened.
Juventus.
They wanted to bring him off the bench. That's what they
No,
said.
no,
They
they didn't have the
said-
money.
Didn't have
They
the
didn't
money.
have the money to pay
Juventus
him.
didn't have the money to
Exactly.
pay
They
Ronaldo.
said
That was
they
the
said
reason.
they
Oh, here
wanted
we
him to
go.
come off
It's
the
not
bench,
true.
and Ronaldo
It's
said,
not
"I'm
true.
leaving." That's what
It's not
happened.
true.
It's not
That's
because
not
of
what
the
happened.
bench. No, it
That's
wasn't.
not true.
Yes, it
No, it
was.
Not
wasn't.
true.
It was because
Right?
of the money. They didn't have enough money to pay.
It all to do with money. They didn't have money to
Yeah.
pay Ronaldo.
That's
They
why
lost
they
a lot
ended
of
up
money.
selling. That's why they ended up selling half of their team.
Yeah.
Please, bro.
Okay.
You-
Okay.
Why would
So-
they sell Dybala? Why would they sell Dybala?
Yeah,
Well,
because they have lots of
wanted-
money.
they've been wanting to sell Dybala for a while.
They wouldn't.
Yeah,
Of
they
course
No,
wanted.
they didn't.
They wanted to sell
No,
him for
they
a while.
didn't. No,
Yeah.
they didn't. No, they
Who-
didn't.
Who was bigger? Who was better than Dybala in that team? You
Nobody.
telling me? Huh?
Nobody was better
Exactly.
than
So why would you
Dybala.
want to sell him?
No, they had the financial issues after. I understand, guys.
Yeah, all the reason why they sold Ronaldo, they even said it. They came out and said it. We cannot afford to pay him. Same thing with Barcelona.
They kept
what did
everybody
with
else
Messi.
though. They kept everybody else.
No, they didn't.
They sold
They
sold
did.
Dybala this year. They
No,
had
they
to.
didn't.
Dybala didn't leave until next year. They kept Chiellini. They kept Bonucci. All those guys stayed. They're all on big salaries. They didn't.
Not bigger than Ronaldo's.
No,
not
but
bigger than
Ronaldo was
Ronaldo.
the only guy, and then the guys from Juventus
And
basically,
then right after,
basically,
and then even for the season, they kept him from one season. All the other guys because they sold him right after.
yeah, they did because they
Listen.
had to because of the financial implications. I understand.
Okay.
But
He's
anyway,
getting
you
his-
finish your point, Joseph. Finish your point. Finish your.
He's getting his way out.
Yes.
Which he's get rid of this shit. Start brand new. Go somewhere. I think Chelsea's wants him. There's a team.
he knew what he
His
did.
agent was in Germany talking to a big club there. I don't know, maybe Borussia, I guess, or somebody like that. Get out of there. Just move on. Have a good World Cup. Show who you are. Win that shit, and then you can shove it up everybody's asses and tell them to go fuck themselves, especially haters like you. And then
Haters like
that's
me.
it.
So you're telling me
Yeah.
he's done nothing wrong now? That's what you're
No.
saying because he went
I'm
on
not
that
saying
interview
that's-
and you just
I'm not
believe
saying
everything
that's
he said because
wrong.
you're Portuguese. He can't do nothing wrong, right?
No, he can do wrong. He did wrong.
He can throw the team under the bus. He can bury the team. He can do whatever he wants because he's Ronaldo. That's what
Listen,
you're telling me.
he has his opinion, just like me and you have my opinion. If he
Listen.
thinks that Martinez and Dalot and Casemiro are the only hardworking guys on the team, that's his opinion.
Yeah,
Just
and
like
that's
you
why
have your
Fernandez
opinion,
looked at him
just
and
like
didn't
I
want to
have my
shake his
opinion.
hand in the Portuguese bench. He's
That's
like,
not
"Don't
the
shake my
reason.
hand. Don't shake my hand and tell me I don't
wasn't
work
even,
hard."
that didn't even have to do
That's
with
not the
nothing.
reason.
That's not
Okay,
the reason.
okay.
Why you guys start inventing stories?
Okay.
Even
Exactly.
the own Portuguese players said in an interview what
Of
happened.
course,
in
what
the,
do you think
in the
they're going to
change room.
say? You think they want problems in the room? You think they're going to tell
Listen.
everybody there's problems between us? They're not going to say that. They're not going to tell you that.
This is not Manchester United, dude. This is the national team. This is a whole different ballgame.
Okay.
Listen. This was all tactically done. It was for him.
Uh,
to get
He
out of
wants.
there.
He wants out. That's all. That's what he
Exactly.
wants.
That's
He
all it
wants
was.
out.
It
Okay,
was. That's
but
all
to
it was.
say that he's justified in what he did, I don't care if it's Messi, Ronaldo, Jose, Gil, or Tony. That is a joke. What he did. That interview right after they won a game with a teenager scoring the winning goal and then throwing every youth player under the bus is a joke. They're better without him. Period. The proof's in the pudding. Look at every stat you want. Take away his name. Just put number 7 and take away his name, and then look at the games. Look at every game that tell me they're better with or without him, and then tell me
place are
Ten
they
Hag's
in?
not
What
right.
place are they in? What
I
place are
don't
they
know.
in?
They're in Champions League spot, aren't they?
No, they're
I don't know.
fourth or fifth.
They're
They're fourth or fifth
They're
place.
fourth.
Okay, there you go.
They're
Last
You're
year
telling me
they
that
they
team
finished
doesn't look better than they did last year.
100%. But
Okay.
do they have?
Okay. That's all. That's
Do
all
they
that
have
needs to be
different
said.
players?
It's a better
Do they
team.
have
Let's
different
be
players?
honest.
Yes, they do.
Reese, it's a
Listen,
better
Okay.
team. man.
look how much they
Better team.
invested this year for the stupid new coach that they have.
That's
They
right.
got Anthony.
He brought
they
his
got
players.
Martinez's.
He brought his
They
players.
got okay,
Yeah.
exactly. What
Yeah.
happened last year when they didn't get enough players? Who did they end up getting last year? Nobody, because they didn't want to spend the money.
They got
All
Ronaldo
of a
last
sudden-
year.
What's that?
They spent all their money on Ronaldo.
They
No, they
did.
didn't. No, they
got
only
Ronaldo.
paid 20-something million for him. What are you talking about?
They had to pay his salary.
So what? So how are they paying Anthony's and Martinez's and all these
Because
guys that they picked up
Ten
their
Hag
salaries?
wouldn't come. Ten Hag wouldn't come unless he got his players. No different
Yeah,
than Mourinho.
exactly.
It's
Well,
no
no,
different than
but-
Mourinho. Mourinho
What do you
spent
mean?
like 600 million when he came here.
No, he didn't. What are you getting?
Dude,
600 million.
He spent
picked-
a lot of money, Mourinho, when he came.
Yeah, he didn't. This
He
guy
spent
has
100
spent more
million
money.
on Pogba
Listen,
alone.
Go check what?
He spent 100 million on Pogba alone.
Exactly. That's it. That's all he
No, that
ended up
wasn't
picking up
Mourinho.
anyway.
That was a
Who else
Yes,
Mourinho.
did he end
it
up
was
picking?
Mourinho. It was Mourinho. Yes,
Yeah, it was.
Mourinho was
Mourinho
there.
was Mourinho.
Pogba.
Mourinho was there, but it wasn't
That was
Mourinho that
Mourinho's
wanted
first signing
Pogba.
was Pogba. Well,
But
wait, it doesn't
it
matter at
wasn't
the end of the day.
Pogba. It wasn't Pogba. He didn't want Pogba. The first choice was Renato Sanchez. That was the first choice.
It's gonna, and by the way, it's gonna happen to Messi too, eh? It's gonna happen to him too. There's gonna come a time when he's not good anymore, and they're gonna put him on
When
the
he's
bench.
not good, he's not good. You can't
Wait,
say he's playing way better than Ronaldo.
are you serious, Barbosa? They're not even in the same stratosphere right now.
Dude,
Messi's playing way better than
this guy,
Ronaldo.
this guy thinks the fucking French league is the same thing as the English Premier League. That's what.
Okay.
That's what.
So the Champions League games
a
don't
different
count.
atmosphere.
The Champions League they don't count.
Because
And,
Ronaldo's not in the Champions
okay,
League, so you can't say nothing.
okay. And whose fault
Last
is
year
that?
when they were both
Whose
in the
fault is
Champions
that?
League,
They had two
listen,
chances to get in the Champions League. They lost both games. Whose fault
exactly.
is that?
They lost both games. How did they lose both games?
Tottenham of all teams. Tottenham fucking passed them. Okay.
So what? Last year, how many goals did Messi score last year in the Champions League?
Now you're talking. Okay, so you're talking about last year. Now we're talking about this year. Who's been the better
because
player this
Ronaldo's
year?
not in the Champions League. You can't compare one another because they're not.
Ronaldo's
in the
got
Champions
3 goals all year. Who's been the better player? 2 in Europa League, by the way. 2 in Europa League. That's a good league,
so
right?
What's your point?
Who's been the better player? I want to see how honest you guys are. Who's been the better player this year? Ronaldo or Messi?
In stats wise, Messi's been
He's been getting the playing time.
He's been getting the playing time. Exactly. He's been playing.
Ronaldo's played this year, guys. He hasn't been benched.
Yeah, coming off the bench in the 60th minute, most of the games. He's played. How many games has he started?
He started 5 games. They're 1-4 with him in the lineup.
How many has Messi started all year?
Let's compare.
You can't compare the leagues. I understand.
Let's compare 100
minutes.
Okay? Wait, I'm giving you a comparison. You're comparing 100 minutes to 1,000 minutes. There's a big difference.
Of course, I understand that. But if you guys watch Ronaldo, you're telling me he still runs the same. He doesn't. Okay, like it's not an insult here. Watch the games. He doesn't run the same, guys. He's not the same player. That's all there is to it. Now, has Messi changed his game?
Soccer's all about running. Does Messi run? Does Messi run more than Ronaldo?
That's what Ten Hag wants to do. Yeah, I know it's different. Ten Hag wants everyone to run. He wants everyone to press. That's why Ronaldo's not playing. It's not because he's not skilled. It's not because he can't head the ball in the net. It's because he can't run anymore. Ten Hag wants everyone to press and wants everyone to run. Messi can be a midfielder and score from the midfield and pass from the midfield. They're playing 2 different positions right now and 2 different leagues. I get it. But Argentina hasn't lost a game in 3 years, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah, the Argentina's been playing against fucking Jamaicans and Honduras and exhibition games like that too. Don't worry.
Okay. And Portugal never plays against weak teams.
Wait until they face good teams in the World Cup, when they play good European teams in the World Cup, and then we'll see. And then
last time I checked, the Argentina made the World Cup final. That's what last time I checked. Okay.
You weren't even fucking born by the time when they made the World Cup fucking finals.
They played Germany in the World Cup final. I watched it. Messi was the best player in the whole tournament.
Did they win?
Ronaldo's never done that in his life.
Did they win? They
didn't win. But they won Copa America like your team won European championships. So no difference. Okay? There's no difference.
And we started to win a Copa America or a fucking.
Okay, here we go.
There's a big difference. There's a big difference.
Yeah, I watched Portugal play. They've tied 3 garbage teams in the group stage. They beat Wales, who's a garbage team, and they beat Poland. You're telling me that they're so much better than
what, didn't beat Belgium either? They didn't beat Croatia either?
And then they won the final.
They didn't beat Croatia either?
When? In the
Euros? They beat Croatia.
In the Euros when they won.
Croatia won nothing.
Did they beat Croatia one? Yeah. Okay, they beat Croatia 1-0.
Oh yeah, you forgot about
that's
that
their
too,
one.
right?
That's their one good win, right? Okay, but Argentina beating Brazil is not a big
what
deal.
About France?
No, they're not a big deal. Yeah,
in the
and who was out that whole game? Who scored the goal? Eder. The cheerleader on the bench was Ronaldo, and he gets all the credit. That's what I hate.
How did he get all the credit? How did he get all the credit? He didn't get all the credit.
He got all the credit for being the fucking cheerleader in front of the camera, waving his hands and trying to be the coach on the bench.
Because he was. What else would you do if there was the same thing happened to Messi when Argentina won the World Cup? Where was the camera on? On Messi, on everybody's shoulder.
On Germany.
What?
On Germany, they won.
What are you talking about?
On Germany. Germany.
I'm talking about fucking when they won the Copa America.
Oh, of course, all the focus on Messi. It's his first international title.
So there you go. And did he do anything in the finals? No, he didn't. It was
he was the best player, and he's the reason they won. That's it.
He's the reason they won. No, it's not the reason that they won. Trust me, it wasn't.
They wouldn't have won the tournament without him. They wouldn't have won the tournament
no,
without him.
really. Who scored the goal in the final?
They only scored one goal, and it was Di Maria in the final.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't Lionel Messi because in the big games he can't fucking score goals.
Okay,
exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Please, fucking save your shit.
You know how many goals Ronaldo has in the World Cup in the knockout stages? 0. So don't talk to me about big goals. Okay,
but who has more goals?
He's got 0.
More goals, Messi or Ronaldo in the World Cups?
They both have 4, don't they?
No, trust me. Go check. They
both have 4 goals. They both have 4 World Cup goals. Both.
Okay, go check your stats.
Or sorry, Ronaldo has 5 and Messi has 4. All in the group stage. All in the group stage.
Okay, that's good for you.
Because they both have no goals after the group stage. I think
Correct. 0 goals in the group stage after the group
both
stage.
Of them.
Both of them. So don't tell me about big goals and Ronaldo leading his team to all this stuff in the World Cup because he hasn't. He's got 0 goals in the group stage. 0.
Don't worry about it.
0. Anyway, so we know Ronaldo can do no wrong. His ego is as big as freaking Portugal, and he can say what he wants. We understand that. What else is bothering
you? Nothing. That's it.
That's
my
it.
Niners
Just Ronaldo. Just Ronaldo.
And my
that's
Niners.
It.
And my Niners won. That's all that matters.
Well, that's not to be bothered about.
That's it. I'm just saying. That's all I got. That's all I have to say.
Oh, you had to have more than that. Anyway, okay, we'll go to Gil, and I'll talk about mine after Gil.
What's bothering me?
Yeah.
What's bothering me was pretty much the Vikings, the Giants, the government.
The government? Oh, God.
Yeah.
They're not going to mandate it, Gil. Don't worry. They're not going to mandate
it. It's just not that. You know, there's just a lot of stuff happening. The government's just out to lunch. I don't know what's going on in the world, but we'll see what happens.
Well, schools are on strike again, apparently on Monday. So
Monday, yeah.
Yeah. There's inflations. There's
there's
trucks being stolen left and right. Car thefts.
Yeah.
No one does nothing. No one cares. So pretty soon we're gonna be all out for ourselves. One for one and one for all.
Yeah.
I wanted the Vikings to lose. They didn't lose. Jefferson did what he had to do. Elastic man. And then Packers won. That was good. What else is bothering me? Nothing else is bothering me pretty much. Everything else is okay.
Yep. Okay. So for me, Jose already talked about the Ronaldo thing. The only thing I'm going to ask, and this is what I want to ask about the Ronaldo thing. We've had Gil Santos has run teams before. Barbosa, I'm not sure. Have you run teams before? Have you been you haven't run a team before. Jose has also obviously run our hockey team and has been a leader of teams before. My question is a simple one. I don't care who the player is. He can be the GOAT. He can be a shit. It doesn't matter. But let's just say he's the greatest player of all time. And he talks to you the way Ronaldo talked to Manchester United, to the coach, to the players, to everything that he said. Would you be okay with it?
Well, I wouldn't be okay with it. Like, we just gotta understand the player, right? Like, we're going through it in our hockey team with Lino all the time, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's perfect example. He's been playing for centuries. He talks, whatever, and then sometimes he sucks out, he grabs his shit and he leaves and he says he's not coming back no more. And then he comes. The next day game he's there. Right? It's just a habit. We have certain guys. It all depends on the person. Right? So if Ronaldo's used to having the attention, the ego, but I'll tell you right now, that coach is shit. That coach is garbage. That's not a Manchester United coach, I'll tell you right now. So I think he's doing more harm than good to that club. And get an actual real coach.
Yeah.
Because Man U hasn't done anything European wise.
You don't think he's doing a good job right now, the coach?
No, I don't actually. I think they could be doing better.
Okay.
I think they can be doing better.
Okay. Jose, go ahead. I'm just gonna grab my charger. What would you do in that situation?
It's like Gil said. It's like fucking we have one on our hockey team with the big ego, bro. But you learn to live with it and you move on. Like fuck. Everybody has their own opinions. And like if he doesn't like all the players on the team, then that's his opinion. That's his choice. I don't know. I don't like everybody on our hockey team or whatever, this and that. But you end up at the end of the day, he's my teammate, and we're gonna have to win or lose together. That's the way it is.
That's true. How about you, Tony? What do you think about?
Listen, like I said, man, he's just finding another way to get out of Man United, and this is probably the easiest way he could find to get out of there.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
stating facts.
Publicly.
Though. That's the problem.
I'm
He's
not saying
stating
he's
facts.
not Jose. I'm not saying he's stating facts. This has been boiling at him. This is not just a one season thing. Eh? This has been boiling at him already for you could tell even from last year.
Yeah,
This
but
has
Tony,
been
now
boiling.
the question now that Andrew asked was, if you were in that coach's situation, what would you do? You
If I was
personally,
running the team, if I was running the team, yeah, okay. You're talking about the club and the players like that. They're involved here that go to war with you all the time. Listen, hey buddy, sorry, but you gotta go. We can't have that. You can't have that in the dressing room. It's a distraction. It's a distraction. And what did it say if he lets it happen? Okay, say for him, say if the coach and the management team let that happen with him. Say Bruno Fernandez does the same thing. Say Rashford does the same thing. Everybody's gonna be follow suit. Then what? You're gonna have a dysfunctional team. You can't have
Yeah,
a
but
dysfunctional team because
true.
too
yeah,
But at
much.
the end of the day,
yeah, but
he's
everybody
doing
knows their
this so he can
place.
get the fuck out.
100% everybody knows their place.
Everybody knows their
Hey,
place.
listen, why do you
Rashford can't
let's
say shit
let's
because he doesn't have 5 d'Ors.
got
He doesn't
okay,
have
Gil,
fucking all this
let's get a
shit
perfect
under his
example.
belt.
Let's get the perfect example. Okay, look at New England and look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady got treated the same as the number 50th player in the team. Doesn't matter who it was. He got treated the same. Bill Belichick said, buddy, nobody's above the team. Nobody's above the team. I don't
Yeah,
care who you are.
but deep inside, all those players knew that he was the
Yeah.
guy.
Listen,
Whatever
you
he
cannot.
says, everybody's gonna do.
But everybody knew the role. They knew
Okay,
he was the
I
guy.
understand.
Yeah.
I completely understand.
Yeah.
Why do you think Bill Belichick cut ties with Tom Brady? You think he wasn't thrilled that he left? Obviously, he didn't want him to go. But guess what, buddy? You're not above the team. This is the team.
Yeah, but then he went to
No, one
Tampa
player is not
Bay.
above the team.
Went to Tampa Bay and went to get a fucking bunch of rejects that nobody wanted, and he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yo, I
Yeah.
understand 100%. It's best for everybody. That's what I'm saying. And that's you can't bring back a guy that's complaining about the team and the players and the club, whatever. He doesn't belong. That's it. He doesn't belong. It doesn't matter how good he is. I'm sure he's gonna go somewhere else, and he's gonna thrive. Buddy, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you can't have that guy coming back in the room and all of a sudden everybody else is going to be doing the same.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this guy doesn't get disciplined. And this guy doesn't get cut or
100%.
anything.
No, he's
Yeah,
done with the club. He's done.
Yeah.
He's the
Now-
the club's done.
100%. You cannot have that distraction with the club because every other player is, oh, I can go out and say the same thing on TV, and guess what? Nothing's gonna happen to me.
In a
And
way,
then
Yeah.
you
I
have
really, in a way,
then you
I
can have
really,
a bunch of rejects, a bunch of degenerates all over the team. You can't do that. You
in
can't
a
do
way,
that.
in a way, I really want him to go to Chelsea, just for that matchup to happen again. And let's see if he blisses in Chelsea, because if Chelsea gives him the chance, and he does what he does normally, Manchester United gonna look stupid in this.
Yeah. And I'd like to say I don't even disagree with some of the things Jose said. If they didn't acknowledge the death of his son, and he told them before the season started, hey, my twin son died, I need some time off. Then that's horrible.
They didn't even believe him that his daughter
I know
was in the hospital.
I was getting that. They didn't even believe him. According to Ronaldo, they didn't believe that his daughter was in the hospital. And that's just ridiculous. Like,
that's
so.
It
So
doesn't
then,
matter.
if
It doesn't matter if
Ronaldo
you're
believed
Ronaldo.
that,
It doesn't matter if it's any of us.
it doesn't.
Like
It doesn't
your
matter
boss
who it
tells
is.
you, "Hey, I don't believe you," and your daughter, your son is sick in the hospital.
Right,
buddy. I don't think I would go back to work.
Right,
To
and
that
so
boss.
he basically left the team and he said, "Sell me," right? And then Ten Hag came out and said, "I don't want to sell you." And so that's where it's. And then of course, Ten Hag had to because he's just starting on the team. He had to show the guys in the dressing room, hey, I'm not going to let him get away with this. So he had to sort of like not start him right away, and then he had to, make sure he didn't look bad in front of the team. So that's where all of this started. And then it just became about lack of respect. And I can't necessarily disagree that Ronaldo feels disrespected by the coach. But if the results are what they are, that coach has one job: to win games. And I've seen this before with Kobe Bryant. Okay, I'll give you guys an example. Kobe Bryant, his last year in the NBA. Basically, what they hired Byron Scott, and they said to Byron Scott, play Kobe Bryant as much as he wants. I don't care what our record is. You play him. This is his farewell tour, and you're going to play him no matter what. Despite the fact that the Lakers are playing better without him in certain games or in certain situations, he played every minute of every game. They had a horrible record. They finished with the worst record in the league. He played his last game of his career, and he got 60 points, taking 60 shots. You know what happened to Byron Scott? He got fired the year after he retired. So if you're a coach and you got this big job for the first time in your life with Manchester United, who's still, for whatever reason, one of the biggest clubs in the world, even though they can't win, your job is to make sure you keep that job and win games. And if you're seeing that the team is better, even without the GOAT in many people's minds, then you have to play the lineup that you think is going to win the games. He started 5 games this year. They lost 4 of them. And this is not against superstar teams. We're talking about just, okay, you want to say Man City. Okay, he didn't play against Man City. But all the other games that they lost were against average teams like Brentford and fucking, I don't know, like garbage teams. So it's like, if he sees that and he's like, I want to play this way and Ronaldo can't do that, then he has to start the guys he either brought in from Ajax or the guys that he thinks are going to press and win in the game his style. It's no different than if Mourinho was the coach. I mean, we've seen Mourinho get rid of De Bruyne and freaking Mohamed Salah because they didn't want to play that his style, right? Even Ronaldo didn't like being coached by Jose Mourinho when he was in Real Madrid. So this is what it is. So quickly, I got 5 minutes because I do want to get to Tony. Josh McDaniels, you're garbage. You're a product of Tom Brady. Okay, you're 7-24 in your last 31 games, and you got a dumbass owner. Here's where it's worse. If I'm Ronaldo and I run into Al Davis's son, and he says that you're doing a good job, even though you're 2-7, that's when I'm like, okay, I don't respect this guy. Get me out of here. Okay. So terrible. Barbosa's smiling already. I can understand why. Josh Allen, start winning close games. You're 2-9 in close games since you've been a starter in Buffalo. You ain't gonna win no Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes or anyone else in the playoffs if you can't win close games. Tony Barbosa, what's bothering
you? Nothing really. Just
of
Tennessee.
Course not.
They keep winning. Tennessee just keeps winning, and that's bothering me.
So, Gil, you're gonna do him a favor this
not tomorrow, Tony.
Not tomorrow.
It stops. Tomorrow
well,
we're running the table tomorrow.
I hope so, man. Make my weekend happy, man.
To your Josh McDaniels things, he hasn't got fired because they're still paying Gruden.
I know.
He's not going to get fired, guys. He's not going to get fired, eh? I'm going to tell you right now.
I know.
2 guys' contracts and then play another coach's contract.
He's not going to get
that's
fired.
That's why he still have a job, or else he would have been fired.
The Raiders are a disaster.
And he's going to be the coach next year. He's going to be the coach next
year.
Yeah,
100%, because they don't want to fire him.
Derek Carr will not be the quarterback there next year, but he'll be the coach.
Yes, he will. There's no way they're getting rid of him. They just signed didn't he sign the extension?
Tom Brady
with
will be
them?
the quarterback. Tom Brady
will be the quarterback.
Yeah, okay.
Tom Brady will be the quarterback.
Carr, they can release. I think they can release. Well, actually, no, you might have resigned. Right. I have to check
resigned last year.
Yeah, so they probably stuck with Carr. And my last question.
It's not Carr. It's that defense. No, they need to fix that defense.
Yeah, the coach is not good either.
Listen. Yeah. Every Belichick coordinator, offensive or defensive coordinator, has struggled in the NFL as a head coach.
So one last question. I just want to get this out before because I want each of you to answer this. Who's worse right now in the with the way they speak about people? Kevin Durant or Cristiano Ronaldo?
You mean Kyrie or Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant. You guys didn't see that interview where he basically threw his entire starting lineup under the bus and basically said the team doesn't know how to coach or manage?
Oh, that guy is the worst.
Okay, he's worse, right? I would agree with you that KD might be worse than Ronaldo.
KD is the worst.
He's worse than Ronaldo.
He's done it to 3 clubs, eh? He's done it to 3 teams.
KD's worse than Ronaldo. I'm saying it right now.
He's done it to 3 teams.
Gil?
Crybaby.
KD's worse, no?
Yeah, another one that things don't go his way, but he's good at what he does. But
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah, but
good
that's
and
why he's never going to win by himself as the
No,
guy.
no.
yeah,
At least Ronaldo's won Ballon d'Ors and Champions Leagues and whatever.
correct.
KD, he went to a superstar team and won 2 titles, but by himself's done nothing. Jose, who's worse, KD or Ronaldo when they talk to the media?
They're both shit. They're both shit. They just should just shut up and play. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Shut up and play. Yeah, that's true. But Ronaldo will get his chance, I think, because I don't think Manchester United is going to have to terminate his contract. I can't imagine unless they try to pull a John Wall where they tell him to sit until the summer. They
No.
could do that.
No,
But
somebody
then
will
what
grab him.
happens is Ronaldo will basically continue to be a distraction until they release him. Like I think this whole rant was to get himself out of there. Like I don't
100%.
like
This is
I don't think
man.
it was malicious. I just think
He's smart, man.
he
He's
had to
smart.
say what he had to say to get out of there because if it wasn't like explosive, then nobody would have cared. He had to like
No.
really like destroy everybody to get out of there because he got the feeling, hey, they're not going to release me. I gotta say something crazy to get out of here. So
Yeah.
that's the goal, I guess, to get out. So we'll see what happens. He's got the World Cup coming up, and he's fully focused on that. And if he has a good World Cup, then Manchester United will get their money's worth, or will look bad. Either way, it's good for him. So he's got a lot of motivation, which is good for Portugal. Okay, so that's our what's bothering us this week. We have just under a minute left. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. That was a fiery conversation. Um, I understand why Ronaldo did what he did. I just didn't like what he did to the other people that he affected. That's all. But Ronaldo has his reasons, and I'm sure Manchester United has their reasons. But uh, you know, family comes first. You don't want to do that to a guy when he loses someone from his family. So I'm the mouth of North Andrew Reese. That's Gil Santos, Jose Gomes, and Tony Barbosa. We'll see you next time on the Reese Report.